Welcome to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and what I want to do in this part is tidy up a whole list of odds and ends that need to be fixed, because one thing about this game is if you don't deal with small problems, they rapidly become severe problems, which can be a real headache to manage. And on that vein, I'd like to say a big thank you for all your comments and feedback, especially those comments where you point out where I've done something wrong or I've omitted something. Those are very important, because those identify those small problems that I overlook. And this is one of the problems when you are doing fairly complex city building games, is that sometimes you can be a little bit too close and you can make assumptions which until someone else comes along and points out where the problem is, you just can't see it. And that's the reason why I want to start with heating. If you watch the previous video, you'll be aware that I had a pollution problem here which was affecting the populations here, and I moved the small heating plant out to here. It went pretty well. We built it. I did this pipe connection through to here, but I did have a problem with making this connection because I didn't really get it finished before winter. So we took a little bit of problems with limited heating in this area. And the reason this small heating plant is still here is the fact that I wanted to use up all the coal before I knocked it down. But if I give you a quick overview, you can see here health is picking up in this area, and more importantly, if I come down to here, you'll see the average lifespan is rising again. Now we're back to 71 years, and that should make quite a big difference on the population. And the other thing also, if I show you the pollution is still here, but it seems to be fading a little bit, and I'm hoping that now we can delete this small heating plant here, and then we'll just tidy up this corner, get rid of the road. I think the road's gone. And there's a little bit of section of pipe in here somewhere that needs to go as well. Just whoops. So I've got a whole list of things that need to be tidied up. And we've still got a little section of road in here that needs to be removed. And of course we've got a whole raft of footpaths here. A little bit worried about the fact that we don't have a connection. Oh, yes, we do have a connection to there. We could probably get rid of that footpath. No. I knew that should have. Although technically that footpath isn't so crucial now because we don't need to get workers out to here. But I will get it rebuilt. Just make that connection there. Looks like we've got a little bit of footpath there and a little bit of footpath there. And we'll just assign that. Hopefully the Volno road crew should pick this up. If not, we'll just give them a little bit of encouragement. And hopefully what will happen is now this heating plant's gone, the pollution should drop down here and this population should grow and stabilize. And that also leaves me a little bit of space here should I want to add something that will enhance this town. Truthfully now, I've got this area to a point where hopefully it will stabilize and the population will settle into, you can say, a fairly consistent level. Now, sticking with the theme of heating, if I come over here and if I show you the population, you can still see we lost quite a lot of population during the winter, which is a bit surprising considering the fact that I managed to get the heating fixed there. And what I did was I spent a lot of time looking around trying to find what the problem was. And what I actually found is that this heat exchanger here and this one here, this one here, are not actually connected. You can see this one's still not connected because I left this as an example to show you what the problem is. But of course I did this one because what I found is in this corner here, if you use this monitor here, this area here was kind of fluctuating between being mildly warm and cold. And what I actually found is that this pipeline here hadn't connected to the underground pipeline down here. And just to illustrate what the problem was is with this one, if I come in here and give you the big heating pipe, you see I didn't actually make the connection. I think what happened is I dragged from this direction, I dragged from this point to here, and this didn't hook. What you've got to do is come in like that. And the other thing also I found is I couldn't assign a construction office to this. So what I'm going to have to do is actually fund this and build it. And what you see now is the hot water is starting to flow into here. that lack of heating in this area, I mean, this is a backup for this heat exchanger here, but in this corner where I thought I'd fixed the problem, I actually hadn't fixed the problem. And that's probably the reason why we were losing so much population during the winter. And hopefully that will now fix it, and we'll get a fairly steady population growth again. And if I show you here also, the People's Palace is finished now. And I think I've now got all the residential accommodation in this area that I need just to have a self-sustaining population in this area as well. So we're not going to be expanding this city anymore. Well, we will. What I might do is take down some of these residential blocks, put the people into the People's Palace, and then we can drop more sport and culture into this area here. But hopefully things will go quite well. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is another issue from the previous video, and that is clothing. And if you remember, if you watched that previous video, you'll be aware that I couldn't understand where all my clothing was going. And I actually think I've solved the problem now. That is that I was going through all these distribution offices, and this is a bit of a top tip. What you want to do every so often is pause the game and go through all your distribution offices and make sure they're doing exactly what you think they're doing. If I come in here, I think was it the Drayton one? No, it wasn't that one. It was the Pristina one, I think it was. And the problem was that because I'd been changing routes, I had left this like this. And now one of the downsides of this situation is that what you're effectively doing is telling this distribution office to sell any of these if you've got a surplus. And because this was picking up clothes, and it was this office that was actually exporting all my clothes. So it was making me a lot of money, but at the same time it was effectively costing me my supply system. Whatever you do is don't allow the custom house to have an open panel either for loading or unloading, because that will completely mess up your supply system. And when you look at it, it looks right. So I think I've now solved that, and if I get this going, you will see that I'm now building up a supply of clothes, and it's been able to run for a couple of months. And if I come in here, you see that we're getting clothes into the main factory now, so things are okay. Now, in the theme of clothes, up here I was building the two factories here. What I've got is a bit of a problem here with the chemical firm, okay, which might be something we need to deal with. And what I need to do now is actually set up this area here. We need I think we'll just buy a couple of... Why I can only buy one? Oh, I've got no money. Okay, so we bought a fork truck for dollars. Never mind, that's okay. I mean, I needed to spend the dollars on something. And the other thing I haven't done actually is I haven't set up the fuel line. I think I can do it from here. I think this guy distributes fuel. Yeah. What we'll do is we'll add you. Where are you? And we'll get you 90% fuel in here. And what I want to do now is set up a supply link here for the fork trucks. I think this probably might make sense. We've got to do it this way, haven't we? We start with you. I want you to load chemicals there. And you're going to take it to the fabric factory where you're going to load there, and then you're going to load fabric and take it, unload fabric there, and you're going to unload clothes there and take it back to the warehouse. Does that make sense? Let's just run through it again. So we're going to pick up crops and chemicals and take it to the fabric factory, and then where the fabric factory is going to make the fabric, which is then going to be sent to the clothing factory, which is then going to produce clothes, which are going to be taken back to here. I'm a little bit worried about this though. I've got this overlap here, and what I should have done is put in a road depot here, shouldn't I? That's going to be a problem. I mean, if you've got no crops here, so why are you still loading? I mean, you're still building stuff, so is this still producing? So maybe it takes a little while to do it. Which depot are you on? Yeah, you're bringing crops in from the customs house. Okay, where are you? I'm wondering whether what we can do is put you directly into the chemical factory and say something like that. And that's bringing in 8 tons. And then what that might do is it will stop the congestion here. Because we've still got 2 distribution offices on here. And eventually what I'm going to be doing is adding another one for the crops. You're loading crops there and you're unloading them at the chemical warehouse. So it's almost like we had 2 distribution offices delivering crops to this warehouse, which is not good. And then you're picking up from the customs house. So I've actually doubled this up, haven't I? Chemical warehouse. Maybe if I split the load, that will keep this fully occupied. Yeah, I need to sort this out, but that's something I'm going to need to look at in the future. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is a suggestion from Luke Willis, who said that in order to ensure the food supply to my shops is by using a truck to come here and unload. I do like that idea, but what I'm going to do is a slight variant on that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the expansion contractor to build this shop here. It's the corner market, it's the same as this one here. So what I'm thinking is rather than put the food lorry onto this shopping centre, is we'll put the food lorry onto this one, and then what I might do, if the problem becomes persistent, we could put one into this one as well. So what we can do is actually ensure that the food supply is being forced into it. A lot of people walking around here. This is a very busy city. So we're going to get that built and bring this online. And what that should do is spread the distribution a little bit. And therefore, I think what I might do is add some more go to max workers in here as well. I mean, we got pretty sure if we click on here, can't see resource status. I must admit, I haven't really looked in depth in these population statistics. Yeah, well, we got a few unemployed workers here, and as the population builds, that should work out very well. Now, while we're in this area, I'll just give you an update with what I've been doing with the railways, because I've had a few fun and games with the railways, because I tried to push both construction trains down to here to try and get this finished, and it didn't work very well. They started blocking each other, and then one of them decided to go rogue and built this bit up here, which I wasn't really wanting it to build. And I found the best solution to the problem is to, if I come into here, what I've actually done is just make sure they've both got 2 jobs. What I've got is this job is over here. I've got one train coming out here working in this area, and then the other one is right down over here. So I've effectively split them into 2 separate tasks. So I'm hoping that that is going to work. And just give an update with the bridge. I mean, the train that's working on the bridge over here is doing very well. I mean, you can see he's really working hard on the bridge. One thing I do want to check is, yeah, I did split this 2 lines, because what I want to do is when this bridge is finished, we're going to push the line out, and I'm thinking going for the oil first. One problem I did have out here is I actually had a fire, and the substation I built here burnt down. But what I've done is I've taken an opportunity to put a new one in here, and that now reminds me on the next thing I want to do, which is I really need to try and get the fire station manned. I wasn't originally planning on doing this, but I think I'm going to give it a go. Let me see. Where is that? I think it's here. What I'm going to do is buy a bus, and I don't want a massive bus. I want one that's take, say, 57 passengers, 65 passengers. Got this one 45 passengers. And then what I'm going to do is, because we've got a lot of unemployed workers in Bridge City at the moment, the idea is that if I'm hoping this will work. We're going to pick these up here, and I'm going to send you out to here, and we're going to send workers out here. And what I'm hoping is that this will bring people out here to staff the fire station. So we're going to buy some, oops, don't want that. And we're going to go all out here. I've got the money for it. Now the next thing I want to do is start stocking this small shop here. Where you go? Oh, I'm building these. Put some extra houses in here. I put this in and I suddenly realized that this will probably need heating, which is going to be a bit of a problem. What I'm thinking is we're going to move a small population into here to support the fire station and any other work that's here, and any other work that needs to be done. Oh, well, that's the idea anyway. So, but first thing I need to do is get some food into here. So, and that leads me on to the next thing I want to deal with. And what I'm going to do is we're going to come in here. I mean, I've got plenty of capacity in here. I'll buy a covered hall, but I don't want one that's really big, because the capacity of that shop is very small. So there's no point putting something in that's really big. In fact, that looks quite nice actually. See, these are too big. I mean, 1.8 tons of food and there, and you're capable of 95. I think maybe we'll just go with a dinky little truck like that. Oh, no, I don't want to do that, do I? Because what I don't want to do is steal all the food away from here. I think we'll hook you up to there and come out to here. And so what you're going to do is you're going to pick up food and clothes, unload food, clothes, and you're going to keep this full up to 90%. Just to show you, you can see we've only got 2.5 tons of food in here and 2.5 tons of clothes. So we're not going to need a really vast amount of capability up here. So one small truck whizzing backwards and forwards might actually be able to keep that going. Well, that's the idea. We can always put a second truck in. Now that leads on to the next thing that I was looking at, which again spins back to Luke Willis's comment. Actually, sorry, apologies. And while I'm in this area, and while I'm suddenly remembered it, was it Walter Van Leeuwen actually pointed out that in here I did not actually have any open holes, or so what I've done is I've put a couple of open holes in here, and I've also put in a bus, so hopefully that will now speed up the construction in this area. Yeah, I've nearly forgot about that. Apologies. And that is a very good illustration of when people post comments pointing out saying, oh, you've got to do that, because I'd have been quite happily just leaving that working to itself on the assumption that construction office was working properly. Now the thing I want to do in here is put in the meat storage. I don't want it connected there. I want you connected to there, because I thought if I build this here and then we connect, hopefully this will connect through. Oh no, don't do this to me, game, don't do this. Is that if we build this, what I can do is store meat here, which will feed this shop, but at the same time will provide me with an onwards to supply to the what I'm going to be building on the islands. So the Carib road crew is there, but I think we'll just let the Dayton road crew give them an assist. So we'll just get this built. Actually, Carib Dayton road crew as well. That's got a good assist there. Now fix that meat problem. What's the next thing I want on the list? I've got so many. Oh, the other thing I want to show you is I've now got 2 iron ore trains running to keep this place absolutely maximum in capacity now. And the idea is that Once we open up the iron mine over there, we will then be able to send one train out to bring iron ore in from the other place. And what you'll see is that this train here has already got a full load, and he will come into this area here. We've got this nice long stretch here. He will wait while this train actually unloads. So having the two trains means that this will always have a constant supply of iron ore flowing into it. It's good. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to increase this a little bit to try and increase that production of steel, because at the moment I'm not getting enough steel through. In fact, I'm going to push it up even higher. Hopefully we will get a surplus of workers here. Check, yeah, we got lots of people working in my coal mines, which are keeping everything busy. I am getting a few brownouts from the electricity, so I think another priority we're going to need to work on fairly soon is another power station, because we've got so many bricks here now. That's okay. Am I actually exporting bricks? Yeah, we are exporting some bricks, but not too many. Some ways I could do with a dedicated brick export distribution office now, couldn't I? I've got, the trouble is I've got all these little distribution offices scattered all over the place. Totally convinced that's very efficient, to be honest. Right, let's just have a quick look and see how things are going here. What are you doing? Yeah, I had a feeling that the chemicals is going to be a bit of a problem. But hopefully if we're getting more crop, yeah, we're getting plenty of crops stashed into here now. If you've got fuel, just make sure, yeah, you're fully loaded with fuel. I think that will keep everything going. And that will stop the traffic jam there. Oops, one thing I haven't got here is not electrical components. We don't have the ability to store clothes. So that's not good. You drop that down a bit. And I think we're never going to have a problem with things. I think if we push the crops up a little bit, I mean, we got the money to buy them, so that's okay. We've got 18 tons of clothes. And of course my fork trucks have got a bit blocked here. I mean, this is a lesson to be learnt as well. Okay, he's now moving out. And you're moving crops to there. I just want to see whether he's going to move the clothes. We're just going to speed up a little bit. Right, are you going to pick up clothes there? Yep, so you're now moving the clothes to there. Ideally, I need to do now is move the clothes down to this warehouse, which will be the central distribution warehouse. But then again, I'm just going to leave that for the moment. I don't want to get too mixed up. And the next thing on my list is, if I remember correctly, I've been leaving this construction office alone. Because what I want him to do now is start building out my conveyor system out through here. I'm just going to give him a whole series of jobs here. Looks like we're not quite into the sowing season yet, because what I want to do now is start moving out this way. And I've been looking at this area. We've got a small warehouse here. I'm not sure why I needed that. A large aggregate store. We've got an open store here, there, and we've got a gas station. So what I need to do now is start planning this area, because we're going to build quite a major city in here, out here. What I'm thinking is to build what you call a small construction town here, which will become a suburb, which will then drive the construction in this area, working with this construction office. But I don't think that's going to be big enough for what I need. But I think what we can do is, I think I need to build the roads out through here. I want to keep the roads relatively straight. I'm going to put a road there. And then I think I've got a cleft coming through there. So we could bring a road through here and maybe come in. Oops, stop. If we put a road in, of course I can't do that. Okay. Right, what we're going to do is build a minor road here so we can put maybe over a little bit further. And this would be the high street of my new town out here. Are you guys going to pick up something? Oh, they're on the case. That's good. And what we'll do is we'll build these roads out here, which would be the infrastructure of what I want to do out here. Now, the next thing I need to plan is over here. I think somebody suggested a little while ago that I need to build up my farming community here. And that's exactly what I want to do. And what I'm going to do is run the road. No excavator, thank you, game. I'm going to have to try and cobble this through. And again, I'm just going to push the road literally out like that. And then there's my Volno road crew. I don't think you've got anything to do just at the moment. That's got there. And actually, I think the other thing I am going to do is we're going to assign you to the expansion road crew. And we're also going to get the gas station out here. There's no point building the gas station out here. We need the power supplies. How far out is the power supply? You've got power. So if you've got... Okay, we need to get this. I think we'll put you, the Bristinia and the expansion road crew on this. And we'll start building the pylons out to here. And that comes into here. Really need a fire station out here. There's no point investing in all this if it's going to burn down. I think I will put in a fire station up here. Equipment for citizens. And we're going to go for a big fire station here. Simply because once this is built, the residents here will man the fire station. Right. You give the Drayton Road crew that job. Yeah. And we need to get the power out here. Yeah, I will assign this to the expansion road crew. So many things to do, so many things to do. I really like my iron trains. They're really running pretty efficiently, actually. I'm very happy with the way that's actually worked out. We're getting more workers. Yeah, we're getting a few more workers in here. So my steel production is going. Of course, that's pushing up my mechanical components, which in turn should give me a little bit more money. Yeah, we're making 80,000 from that. It's good. Plus, we're should be keeping a fairly solid supply of mechanical components into that area. I really want to get this finished so that I can get my aggregate storage working, because then that will mean that I've got everything down to here. She just reminded me of something. We need to make sure that that's got oil in it, nothing else. Let's just get back over here and see if my little strategy for the fire station has worked. Yes, we have. We've now got fire coverage. I am very happy about that, because I was so worried about the fire situation here. We've got some food in here and clothes, and it's all full up. Yeah, so we've got a little truck here coming in here. Maybe we could put a few people in here. We got the village house there. There's the school built. Got the village school. We've got there. Maybe we'll put a few people in here, because what I want to do is I don't want to put anyone in here just for the moment. I want to put a few people in here, and then we're going to see how they get through the winter with the heating situation. So I need some volunteers. Okay. Well, we're going to need a few educated people. kind of spread them into a maybe inclusive of that, and then we'll get a few other people. Yeah, I don't want to have too many people in here. I just want to have a little bit of a village community working here. And then when this is finished, I've got a feeling this is going to have a heating problem. But I do have a strategy for that, is probably the polite way of saying it, is the fact that we could, let me just show you rather than talk about it. We've got this small heating plant, which we could put in if necessary. But I don't want this community to get too big. This is like my backup community for the fire station. I'm not expecting them to contribute a large amount to what's going on. I just want that running. Up here, we're slowly grinding out the iron mine here. I think the initial focus has got to be on this area here. I'd like to get the power set up here. You can see progress out here is very slow. What I most likely want to do is put out another construction office out here. But the trouble is we're getting so far away from supplies. So really I need to create a construction area out here. What's the oil situation? Where are my oil fields? Let me just see. We got oil here, but it's all a bit, so there's a good oil field there. This is a bit patchy. And of course the best oil fields are over here on the other side of the tunnel. So I'm thinking, I don't really get the vibe for that. If I was going to put an oil pump, maybe we can do a bit of planning here. Let me just zoom out a bit. We got one oil field there and a little bit of green here. Maybe if we put one in, say about here, that's not going to be that efficient, is it? And another one, say about here. Should have known that was coming. Actually, I'm not. Just redo that. Of course, we just had a fire, but at least it's been put out. I didn't notice that. Okay. Okay, we got that there. Got no leveling here. What we're going to do is we're going to run. Okay, we're going to have to do this. Try and squeeze it through here like this. Can you squeeze around there? Oh, come on, game. Yes, you can do it. I'm just going to split that up. Of course, what we're going to need is a pumping station, aren't we? Like this. Connect this up. I'm not sure. I think we'll build the roads first. And then that leaves a little bit of space here for possibly a construction office if I can build it. Let me just see. I think we'll put a standard construction office in here. Let's see. It's not gonna. Okay. You can do it. You can do it. Need to flatten. Yes. And then again, we're just going to connect up with gravel roads. Yeah. And then what we could do is put an open store here and maybe an aggregate, but we'll get back to that. Okay, bridge road crew. See, they got no workers. How many buses have I got in the bridge road crew? Got enough buses. No, we've only got the one bus. So I think what we're going to do is going to shoot in a couple of buses here. A couple of these. And see if we can get more workers on the job, because we got plenty of workers down here all looking for something to do. So yeah, a bit of a fail there again. Just go back to Trout Lake and see how our residents like it. Yeah, you can see that they're going to need a little bit more time to build up, and I think the actual, yeah, I mean the quality of the flats, well, it says 97% there. Actually got a church, so we may actually get an increase in spirituality here. Wow. Yeah, see, the quality is never going to be brilliant here. So, but we got. Oh, we haven't finished the. That's the small theatre. There's no staff to work. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to have a bit of a population problem here. Let's see if we can get a few more workers in. A few more volunteers into here. But I don't really want to build the population up too much. Let me just see. Get a few educated workers in. Okay, maybe what we'll do is we'll just kind of fill up the houses. Because what they should do is assist with the construction in this area. I'm half expecting to have to replace the population here from time to time. How is the population? We're back nearly to 14,000 again. And overall, getting more births than deaths now. That's probably because the lifespan is getting longer. But this guy's run out of jobs. We need to get back to the construction office. Okay, where are you? Yeah, he's probably stolen the job from the other guy. But that's okay. Just allocate you, get that finished. I mean, to be honest, the distances are getting so great now that I don't think it really matters which train goes which way now. Let's see, what are you doing here? Looks like we've actually made a start on the viaduct. I wasn't really planning on doing that, but I'll take it. How's this road going? This road's going good. Once this road is finished, what we'll probably do is bring another road up from over here through here to connect to here. And then we can start planning out our farming community over there. How's this? So we're now in April and the crops are growing. Looks like we've got all the sowing finished, which is good. These guys are laying out the roads out here. It's the distances that worry me. We do need to get this area built up. And what I will do is when this is actually finished and we've got enough protection out here, what I will most likely do is what we call it here, the expansion contractor will move all the vehicles from here and effectively demolish this, because the Pristina construction office here should be able to deal with anything out here that needs to be done on a routine basis, is probably the polite way of saying it. I'm just going to give you, just keep pushing out. Let's sign that. Of course, we're going to need to look at the construction offices here as well. What we got here? This got connected. Sometimes you can't actually see. Did I connect this up? You just check. Okay, so we need that assigned to the Pristina. That's wrong, actually. You've got... Oh, you've got another connection there. I don't want that pushed in here. Yeah, I really wish that maybe these were in a slightly different colour, like maybe slightly orange. Right, actually I was building this and I actually cancelled it, so what we need to do is creep the power out here as well. And I'm pretty sure this is the one that's going to power these conveyor terminals. We got... Well, we'll have to check that. So we'll just keep pushing the power out here. Okay. How's the oil supply? Got lots of fuel in here doing nothing, but that's not a problem. All our oil is full. Clothes situation. All right, we've got 10 tons of clothes here. You've got covered holes in here. If you've got any spare... Yeah, you've got a couple of... But it looks like the covered holes are actually busy. So, but we got spare capacity here. What we could do is come... Are you connected to... Right, what we're going to do is tell you... Pick up clothes. All clothes here, and then we're going to get you to train electronics. What's this called? This building is already assigned, but what are you actually called? Actually, this is distributing clothes to different places. So if I give it 2 sources, and what you're actually doing is distributing clothes to the Ringai corner market. What we could do is, are you distributing clothes out to... Yeah, I think if we go with that to start with, who's distributing clothes out to here? Right, you're taking stuff to Trout Lake, so it must be this one that's picking up clothes. Yeah, you're taking clothes from Bridge Warehouse. I think what we'll do is we'll add you as a source for this one as well. I mean, we'll adjust this later on, but what it would mean is if the clothes get low here, we can draw clothes from here, and if there's any surplus builds up in here, we'll be okay. How's the clothes in here? You're doing good. And we're exporting clothes again. Why are we not exporting clothes? I thought I'd fix this. Okay, distribution office. Did I fix this? Right, you're actually taking clothes to the warehouse. I think what we're going to do is we're going to make a little bit of money from this now. I don't think this contributes that much. And this is the example that I was talking about. We'll just remove this one. What that will do is it will pick up clothing from crops and fabric. And so what he can do is start exporting clothes again. See, look at that. No queues of people wanting to go to the customs shed anymore. Really fantastic. And while we're here, crops is... Oh, we still got a little bit of crops here. We got 414 in here. You've got 413 here. You have actually got a source. Can we assign you? What have we got? You're picking up crops and you're unloading in the food silo. Which one is doing the distribution? I think what we're going to do is assign you as a pickup point and you as well. And you're going to the unloading at the food silo and the small farm. I presume the food silo is still pretty good. Just check what's the percentage. Small farm 50%. Food silo 50%. Well, we might as well keep what's in these granaries are there, and then if it drops down any lower here, it's gonna be okay. I mean, we're not really, now this factory's working flat out, we're actually getting the food distribution out to this area here. Yeah, I think I've kind of half cracked the food supply situation here. What's the athletics club? Have we built the... We've now got the store. We've actually got people working in it. Who's distributing the food? Let me see. I think what we can do is hand you to here. And you can deliver food. And I'll probably put this at, say, 60% at the moment. What's the overall store? Huh, nope. So, actually, we can take that to 90% actually. And what you can do is keep pushing the food into here. Into the corner market here. That will put food into this area, which will be a support mechanism. And really what I need to do now is get some clothes into this area. Who is actually distributing clothes? You're the one distributing clothes. And this is the Ferengi corner market. Yeah, clothes and meats. I think we're going to add some you there, and you're going to deliver clothes to 50%, and actually he was distributing meat as well, wasn't he? I'm sure he's got a refrigerated plant in here. Yeah, so what we could do is add meat to 50% as well. What is... Yep, was it meat? Yeah, meat, clothes and food to 50%. But what we'll do is we'll pull the food up with the other supply and depot. What that will do is get another source. So we've already got food in here already, which is good. And so what we'll get is more food and clothes and meat into here. Wow, these guys aren't messing about, are they? Okay, I'm happy with that. And what that will do is means that we will have contingency backups, and it will take some of the pressure off of here with the numbers of shoppers, because I get a feeling occasionally that this fills up and there's people waiting to be served. And by spreading the load a little bit, we're actually fixing a few problems. Let me just go down to here. I'm aware time is pushing on, so... Okay, oops, I haven't built this yet. Bit of a fail here. We'll just get the expansion road crew on that. and because it means we don't have meat out in Trout Lake. But well, that's the way it goes. As I say, I'm half expecting these population to be permanently unhappy. Let me just see. I mean, they might build up over time. I mean, it says 8 citizens able to get meat, electronics, participate in any sport. I built you a gymnasium, an athletics club over here. You just need to get there. But probably what you need is a footpath through there, don't you? You build the footpath. What we might do is start upgrading these mud footpaths to gravel footpaths. Don't think the spirituality here will be that much of a problem. And we're just, as long as we're keeping all... Oh no, got another lot coming in. All you guys have got to do is work in the fire station. That is your sole purpose in life here. So kind of run through here. Just really need to get some of this stuff finished. Because once we got some power, we just got. I think we're gonna. Can I add? No. See, we're just so far out of range of. We just get the expansion road crew here. We got this road crew literally sat around doing nothing. He's got virtually nothing to do. So maybe we're just going to give him plenty of jobs. We'll give him that. And more importantly, what I want is where is it? That and that. And probably give him that as well. Well, if I can get the oil producing here, we can truck it up to over here to this oil tank, and then what we can do is once the track's all been laid through here, we can then bring fuel down to here and ship the oil back from here while we're actually finishing off the track. And he's done it again. I just love you, game. So just have to come here. What we might do is actually flip the trains back the other way now. Put you on that. See which one of the construction trains is going to come down this way now. Yeah, it looks like they've actually flipped back the other way now. Because they're both in the station here. Well, we're making slow progress there. And I think just to wind up, let's just have a quick review. Wow. Well, these guys aren't hanging around up here, are they? I think what we're going to do is buy... let me see. I want one bulldozer, one excavator in here. He's actually picked up, the gas station has actually picked up this. That means this guy's on auto detect. We have to turn him off. Really wish that the auto detect was off by default when you build the things. And what I want to do is just keep these in here for the moment so that I can do the planning, but that would be for the next part. I think what we're going to do is assign you to the expansion road crew. There. And we're just going to keep filling this in here. And hopefully we'll get everything connected. One more flyover, make sure everything is going good. We've now got food, clothes and meat into here, which should then spread out the issues there. We've got 67 tons of clothes in here. Look at that. That's great. And we got 8 tons of clothes there. It goes to show that one small mistake was very expensive to the overall efficiency. What I really need is more chemical plants. I think putting the food directly into there is making a difference because it's keeping the production going. Yep, looking good, looking good. We're now coming up to June, and I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. Spot any more mistakes I made, feel free to chuck them in the comments. And so until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.